Welcome to Shoot the Breeze, a series on a podcast that celebrates the messiness of life, relationships, and Christianity, featuring my wife Lacey and myself, Nathan. It's creatively titled because it will be just us shooting the breeze, sometimes with guests, while occasionally saying something important. We hope you enjoy. You look very nervous.
I mean, yeah. Most of the time when you or your wife ask me to do anything, I'm usually nervous.
Oh, perfect. I have more questions.
Great.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Tell me your name, who you are, what you do.
What I do?
Yeah.
Okay. My name's Lauren Barclay.
Okay.
I am a stay-at-home mom.
Awesome.
That is attempting to homeschool my children. And I do some volunteering and ministry around Hill Country Fellowship.
Okay, great. And that's the church that we...
Church, yes.
Yeah. So... Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
Here's a fantastic question.
Already?
No. What's your favorite way to waste time?
Oh, phone games.
Phone games?
Nonsense phone games.
Like give me a example.
Most recently I've gone old school with Spider Solitaire on my phone. But I've done...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Just literally...
I love Spider Solitaire.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever played Kings in the Corner?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's a great game.
Okay.
You basically, as you're playing, you draw, you put the deck in the middle of the table, and then off that, you lay down kings, but it has to go in every other color.
Oh.
So it would be a black king, red queen, or red king, black queen, but then you play and draw, and anyways, it's a fun game.
I've recently been getting bored with Spider Solitaire because I can't not win.
Is Spider Solitaire, I know, right?
Well, it's fun.
So
it's
easy.
fun though because John's good at so many things. My husband John is good at so many things, but he's not very good at Spider Solitaire. And so he saw me playing it, decided to download it, and is now constantly frustrated that I have a better score ratio than him.
Wait. What's the difference between regular solitaire and Spider?
So regular solitaire is when you're putting them all into the four little categories of suit. Spider Solitaire is where you can stack them up of any suit. You have to kind of unearth cards.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I do like it. You're on your computer, you can select where you can drag the card on top of the pile, right? Or if you double click, it goes.
Yep.
I always like doing double click. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so phone games.
Phone games.
Okay. I got rid of a lot of my apps on my phone, being the minimalist that I am. So the only game I have on my phone is a flight simulator, and I earn licenses by doing flying in the fog or landing without one of the landing gear not coming down. And so I can earn licenses, which puts me in a better position to buy airports. And then you can buy planes, and then you can buy pilots. And so it's
Sounds really complicated.
It's whatever. It's super fun because it's the more airports that you get, the more pilots that you get for those airports, the more you continuously fly. So in the beginning, you're just learning how to fly, so you really can only manage one plane, one pilot. Well, then you become essentially a commander. I forget what it is, and you own everything. Anyways, at the same time, you're learning how to fly because you have to do these tests. What happens if you don't have your air brakes? What happens if they...
Is it realistic learning how to fly?
Yeah.
Would it translate if you were to...
Yeah. I feel if I'm flying somewhere and the pilots, both of them keel over, I could be I think I could do this.
I mean, is that personal pride or is that actual?
No, here's the thing is I love I love flying in like flight simulators. And I had a friend who owned this small bush plane, and so he would teach me how to do stuff. But it was in like a small one engine propeller engine, and so like we would do a bunch of stuff. Wouldn't recommend. But then like also I love flight simulators, and I like YouTube. I can binge YouTube how to fly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole thing for you.
It's a whole thing. And my favorite is I'm on this one, got addicted to this one channel where he's a pilot, and then he analyzes plane crashes and why they crashed from a pilot's perspective. It's fascinating.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not about me, though.
I mean, it sounds like it's about you.
Okay. What makes you feel the most cared for? So you have like the 5 love languages type. So receiving gifts, quality time, like affectionate touches. Is it like words of affirmation, or I think the other one? Oh, service, like being served.
Quality time.
Okay.
100% is my top. Words of affirmation is my second.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's good to know.
Yeah.
The quality time is not a shock to me. You're very much a people person.
Yeah. Surprises no one.
What? Lauren likes people? It's crazy.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Yeah, no. No, okay, so quality time, which is funny because your favorite way to waste time is like...
Zone out by myself.
Zone out on your phone, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit oxymoronic.
Okay. It's fascinating. All right. So you're a mom. You're married. How long have you been married?
11 years.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations.
Thanks.
I was going to say that's like forever in nowadays.
I mean, yeah. We got married when we were the same age, so we were 24.
Okay.
And so I feel like everybody was telling us that we were way too young to make it. So 11 years is an accomplishment.
24?
I mean, California, everybody doesn't really value marriage, and they do it late. So that's how I grew up.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because you did grow up in California. You were telling me that your first place you and your husband, John, got was a... How did you describe it?
I called it a hovel. Okay, so let me explain.
Yes.
So we had attempted to make California work.
Okay.
We had met in Fort Worth in college, Fort Worth, Texas, and then decided that we needed to be close to my family. So we moved to California with absolutely no money and soul-crushing amount of debt and no real skills for the job market, and decided that was a good idea. So we got a studio apartment in a 1940s triplex.
Oh, goodness.
In Dana Point, California, which is right up against the beach.
Right.
So we felt like we made it, but we were living in like 400 square feet. And if you stepped into our backyard, which our neighbors could reach into over their wall, you could see the ocean. So that was like our saving grace for that year and a half.
So did it have multiple, like were you on a top level, bottom level?
So there were 3 units. There was one at the front.
Okay.
And then 2 that were kind of split level, and ours was the bottom of the split level.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, because that would have been, I mean, yeah, if it was a 1940s bunker.
That's what it felt like.
At least, like, I feel like if you were at the, middle to top level, you could at least see the ocean, but you guys didn't even have that.
No.
No. Okay.
You had to walk out. You could stick your head way over our back fence, and then you could see Dana Point Harbor.
But how long of a walk was it to the beach?
We never walk. We always rode bikes. So we rode bikes to the pier, and it took about 2 minutes.
Okay. So I feel like
all downhill.
If you, it's fantastic. Perfect. So maybe 4 on the way back.
Yeah.
No, if you see, both Lacey and I love the ocean, and so if we could live like 2 minutes from the ocean, it could literally be a tarp or a cardboard box with a tarp over it to make it waterproof-ish. I don't know, like both her and I were like, I think it'd be worth it. Like being able to...
Well, I mean, I feel like it wouldn't have been as bad as it was, which a lot of it was great, but the person that lived over us was a single woman in probably her mid to late 60s who had mental health issues.
Oh, goodness.
And would just like grab stuff out of our backyard. Like I said, she could reach into our yard so we had like a bird feeder on the fence that she just decided that she wanted one day and she took it. That kind of thing. Her name was Margaret. And then we had a neighbor next door who's not part of the triplex.
Okay.
That I think her and her son her adult son were both living in this one space, and they didn't have jobs. They would just stay home and scream at each other all day long.
Okay.
All day, all night. So we worked a lot.
Got to be away from the house.
Yeah.
There was a house that we lived in. It was owned by the church, but it was in a really horrible neighborhood, and so there was multiple nights where we would wake up at 2 a.m. to this couple, which is maybe like a full city block down the road.
Okay.
Yelling at each other, like we could hear it, and so we would call the police, and then we would sit in our swinging chair on our back porch and just listen. Like, that's what we did for fun.
Oh man. Well, we were in our first year of marriage, which I mean is not a picnic.
Yeah.
For most people.
Right.
So it was like we were high level stress, high level debt. Yeah. Working all the time. And then we'd come home to screaming people.
Yeah, no, that'd be horrible. Okay, so you guys had met in Fort Worth because of school. What did you go to school for?
Psychology.
Okay. How long did that, how did you get a degree? How long did you go for?
I got a degree.
Okay.
I didn't go there so I went to Texas Christian University, and I did not go there for the 4 years. I went to community college close to home. Okay. For 2 years, and then I transferred because we had lived for a tiny little bit in Texas. Okay. And I really liked the people, and I wanted to come back. Yeah. So that was my opportunity, and I wanted to go into psychology at the time. I had been through a lot with my family and had been through therapy, and that had been super helpful for me. Okay. And I really wanted to help people in that way. Yeah. And I got to the end of 4.5 years is how long it took me to graduate. Okay. And in my half that I had left, I did an internship where I was working for the Tarrant County Women's Shelter. I was working with women and children there. Oof. And decided I could never do that as a job.
What was the deciding factor?
So everybody that comes through there specifically had a really heavy story. Okay. That was not the issue for me. The issue was I wanted to help people, and people a lot of times didn't want to help themselves. Okay. They were there because they had to be, and they couldn't see the forest through the trees. Sure. Yeah. And so they just wanted a Band-Aid and fix my problems and send me on my way without doing any hard work. Yeah. To actually
change their
lives, change their situation, change what was hurting in them that made them go after that kind of a person that would make them end up in a women's shelter. So right.
What my mom was in a women's shelter. It was only for I think like a week and a half, maybe 2. Anyways, so what was the you got a degree? Was it a bachelor's in this?
Bachelor's.
And then you were doing the internship. Were you looking at potentially getting a full degree, or?
Yeah, I was looking at going into a master's program right after that at, it was somewhere in Southern California. We were planning to move to Southern California right after that. So anyway, I was looking at getting a master's and then getting licensed in marriage and family therapy. Okay. So along similar lines.
And so, but you noticed that it was the people's unwillingness, essentially, to help themselves, right?
Yes.
That made you pull, just be like you're done with it,
At the time, it wasn't, I'm done with it. It's, I need to really take a break and I didn't have the money to continue on, honestly, at that point, and I was so spent from that internship that I just needed a break, and so I was like, okay, well, that works out, and then I just
never
decided I could never return to it once I got some space from that experience.
What was so if you, because of, like you were saying, your own experience, you've had counseling, you've had therapy, and then you also obviously participated in as being a counselor and going to getting a degree in it, helping women. Like, where do you find, I guess maybe what do you see as a kind of a missing thing? Because I've talked to a lot of counselors. We've actually had counselors go through, like our program's Cultivate, but I know of other programs where it's not a degree focused counseling. But what do you see as lacking in that field? Like I said, I've talked to several counselors who've done stuff like what we do, and they're like, oh, it's this or that. What did you find for yourself?
Ooh, I'm not sure. That's a really tough question because I saw the people that really cared about helping other people go into that field and then burn out in a few years after they'd spent all this time and money and hours and which was another big thing that kind of played into me not going back was I saw some of my friends that were following that track not be able to continue after a few years. So I'm not really sure. I feel like people a lot of times will enter therapy as like a last-ditch effort to fix something.
Like themselves?
Fix themselves or a marriage or something. And they'll just kind of like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And well, it's not just tell me what to do. We have to fix what's in there so that out here can look like you want it to look. And people don't really have the expectation of that going in.
Yeah.
That's hard to kind of get them into that if they're not prepared.
Right. So taking the perspective of a counselor, what is it that, like, why do people burn out? Like, what is it that makes people be like, I can't do this anymore?
Oh. I know a lot of people take it home.
Okay.
A lot of people take the heaviness home.
Yeah.
Which is hard not to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I do know that's why I gravitate so much towards y'all's type of ministry, this freedom ministry, where you're really working at the heart issues.
Yeah. Yeah. And we take nothing home.
That's okay.
Well, no. Okay. So, jokingly, Lacey's more empathetic, and she tends to take things home in the sense that it weighs on her more.
Yeah.
I don't. One of my life verses is where Jesus sends the rich young ruler away and doesn't
love that one so much.
Yeah, I do. He doesn't chase after him.
Yeah.
And that's, both Lacey and I in our education, in our experience, the one thing that we picked up from people who've not burned out, right? I mean, people who've been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
It's like the theme that we hear them say is, listen, you can't want someone's freedom more than they want it. And I think that's really helped us in going, okay, all we can do is provide the tools that we have, right? Or recommend tools like, hey, we're not experts in this, but we do know experts in this, whatever issue they're struggling with. And being able to, you're exactly right. It's that idea of, listen, I think that can weigh counselors or therapists down when it's like, I want to help them so much, but they don't want help.
Yeah.
The other thing I've seen is almost like I've had this experience where you go into therapy to essentially just talk about your week, but there's no resolution to why you're struggling with that repetitive theme every week. Yeah. I guess, have you seen that at all, or have you...
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my extent of counseling was localized to like 6 months. So
Sure, okay.
But I'm not super well versed, but yeah.
Even like in the friends that you've had, you said going to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Not you, though.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This is one of the many resources we make available for free at our website, cultivaterelationships.com. Our resources have helped people grow in their relationship with God and others. We've seen people set free from uncontrollable anger and paralyzing fear. We've witnessed estranged family members be reunited after working through our freedom booklet. We've helped people build healthy relationship and coping habits through our coaching videos. And all of these resources are made available for free because of the generous support of people like you. If you would like to become a partner, please visit cultivaterelationships.com/support. Now, I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. So you said growing up, there was some stuff that made you have to go into therapy or have to take counseling, and then which was kind of what spurred on your desire to go into counseling yourself. Yeah. Do you want to get into any of that at all? Like, what was it?
Ooh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so the counseling that I went to was actually court ordered.
Okay.
Because my mom was in a car accident when I was 9. Okay. She was traumatically brain injured, and in her recovery and throughout, my parents ended up getting a divorce, sort of from family intervention. Okay. When I was 12. And then after that, we had to go to the counselor because in her recovery, she was very violent.
Okay.
Beyond her control, like to weird superhuman levels.
Okay. Okay.
And there was just a lot of stuff between 9 and 12 that I saw that I just didn't even know was affecting me.
Okay.
And came out in really strange behavior ways. And so...
Came out, like, for you behaviorally?
For me, okay. Behaviorally. I'm sure for my siblings, too. But okay. I was just super focused on me at that time.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. When you deal with that level of trauma.
Mm-hmm. And so we didn't go for that long, but I just remember it being something that let me feel a little bit more, I don't want to say in control, because that wasn't really, I was never in control of the situation. I never felt in control of the situation, but a little bit more understanding of where certain things that I did came from. And even though it wasn't how I wanted to be acting necessarily in the moment, just to like have tools to work through stuff like that. And yeah.
So it was court ordered. Is it because of what like the doctors had seen your mom do, or what was the court order from?
Specifically, it came out of an incident where we had to call the police on my mom. Okay. My parents were separated at the time, and she had tried to force her way into our apartment. Okay. And we ended up having to lock ourselves in a back bedroom and wait for the police to come remove her from the house. Okay. That was fun. Yeah.
I get those circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yeah. And so do you feel like that was at the time of that counseling and probably to the degree that you understood and all of that, do you feel like that was beneficial? Do you feel like that was beneficial? Like it helped you where you were at? Yes,
definitely.
Okay. And then playing that out, like obviously you start dating, you get married, you have kids, like as that, and you know, as you deal with trauma as a kid and all of that, kind of layers of an onion analogy. Yeah. So as you've gotten older, I guess how has, and you look at what God's provided or set in front of you for dealing with that, how have you grown from that 12-year-old to like where you're at now, and what was that process of resolution for you?
Boy, I mean, still happening, I guess.
Yeah, no, sure, fair enough.
So part of that, I kind of felt like when I was 20, sounds right, I was going to Saddleback, Rick Warren's church in Southern California, and I went to his lay counseling program that he had in the church offices there. And I wanted counseling again, but I had no money, and I was working 3 jobs trying to get myself through community college, and I couldn't afford to go see an actual therapist. So I tried to go to lay counseling at my church, and they looked at me and they're like, "Oh, well, you seem like you're dealing with everything okay." After they asked me a couple of questions, well, you seem fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I feel like I need help, which is why I'm here.
Right.
And I really don't feel like I got any resolution to that.
Okay.
I mean, now I'm 35.
Almost 40.
Yeah. Thanks. I really don't feel like I got much resolution to any of that until maybe the last year and a half.
Okay.
When I started going through freedom booklets.
Okay.
Because there was just so much that I never actually unpacked.
Yeah.
And then realized how I was living out of those things.
Like if you could focus on maybe some of the more obvious or maybe most affected behavioral things, like what did you notice where you're like, okay, I can't live this way anymore? Like what led you into, like you were saying, the last year of walking through that?
A massive amount of anxiety.
Okay.
Massive amount of anxiety. I didn't even realize this until your wife pointed it out to me, actually. But she looked at me and she said, oh, that's what happened. I had a doctor's appointment that I was a little concerned about. And she was like, of course you are, because you think you're going to die, or you think you're going to be physically removed from your family and they're not going to be okay. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I do think that.
Yeah. Why
do I think that? Why are you just now telling me I think that when I've thought that my whole life? So, yeah, and I had already started working on a book with my mom, and I've got a few more that I would like to do.
Well, because what eventually happened with your mom? Do you mind?
What eventually happened? She got to a place in her recovery where she was stable, but she was basically like 12.
Okay.
So I related to her as a child, kind of. Yeah. And I tried to help taking care of her. She lived with my aunt for a while, and then she had another accident that ended up taking her life at 59. So. Okay. Yeah.
And how old were you at that?
I was 29.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 29. So that was 6 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so all of that is probably wrapped up in what you were feeling in terms of that anxiety of not just what your mom's first accident about all of the debilitating mental stuff, right? And then how that would affect your family, and then obviously your mom being taken early, and all of this wrapped up into the doctor's appointment, right?
Yes, into a silly little doctor's appointment that was confirming something that they had already told me a year before that, that I was fine. Yeah. And they just wanted to make sure I was fine. Yeah. I was convinced that I was not. So.
How did this anxiety play out in your life, like in your marriage? How did it affect relationships?
Oh gosh, poor John.
Which I'm gonna be interviewing him later, so I'll get his side.
Yeah, just
I'll get all the dirt. Don't worry.
All the dirt. He loves to talk. Poor John. I just really felt like I needed to be in control of absolutely everything all the time, and if I wasn't, that nothing was going to be okay. And so it was just this. He could never do anything right.
Yeah.
I had to be the one to do everything.
Yeah.
Especially when my kids came along.
Yeah.
Because they weren't safe with anyone but me.
Well, of course.
They weren't going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not healthy.
Right. Wait. So, I feel like we get to these levels in our life, right? Like, an 18-year-old's an 18-year-old. They probably don't recognize the impact of their childhood on them, right? I mean, maybe some do, depending on. But, like, as we get older and we move into these new life phases, so, like, you get married.
Yeah.
You start dating, and then you get married. Like, in that, you probably observed or recognized, I have some control issues, or no? Like, for you, like, did you, okay.
No.
Looking back, do you see areas where
Yes.
Okay, so wait. So looking back, because I think this is hard. Like, honestly, if you do struggle with control, you look at it as, no, I'm the rational one.
I just have my life together.
Yeah, no, I'm more organized than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, looking back, if you could pinpoint, like, red flags, okay, what would you say is like, oh, I definitely did this, and if you're doing this, maybe.
Oh, boy. I don't even know where to start.
Let's go funny to more serious.
Okay.
No.
I mean, like, the way I can just put it in the simplest of terms, I would just get an idea that needed to happen.
Sure.
And I would feel, you know, the feeling that you get right before you do something that just makes you insanely nervous. Jump out of a plane, get on stage and talk. Something, I mean, those things don't affect you because you don't care about heights or something that scares the poo out of you.
Looking at a spider.
Okay, you're about to go step on a tarantula with your bare foot.
That's horrible. You're a horrible person.
The feeling that you just got in your stomach was what I felt when I got an idea that I felt like I needed to accomplish. Oh, goodness. Through the roof, just like adrenaline and... We need to do this. We need to do this now, and I need to figure it out.
Okay, wait. Give me
down and plan out everything.
No, give me an example, because the only thing I could think of that would be that drastic is stepping on a spider. Like seriously, give me an example. Like, tell me, like, what normal life circumstance this would, like, something would freak you out to this extent.
Okay, I love Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
When I did it, I was so unhealthy that everything related to that gave me that feeling. Because it is all about control and self-discipline and making lists and checking boxes. And every time I did anything in that program, that's how I felt.
Okay. So budgetary stuff, finances.
Yeah.
What about, like... Because I know some people who struggle with anxiety, like, just getting into a car. It freaks them out. Like, they can't sit in a certain seat in a car.
I still have that problem when other people drive me around.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. So you have to be the one driving.
I am absolutely convinced that I am going to die at the hands of someone else at the wheel.
Oh, goodness. Like, still, or is that something past?
Yeah, I'm still working on that one. Poor John. Don't do that. This is too close. Yeah.
Okay. But, so, like, Lacey's gotten so good at this to where she really doesn't do it anymore. But, like, other people driving with me, if they're like I'll be driving and they'll be like, ah! And I'm like, oh, what? And they're like, oh, there's a car over there. You could have caused an accident because there was a car 2 blocks away.
I will be that person.
Remind me never to drive with you.
I'll drive. It's fine.
Perfect. I love just laying back, chilling. I was just trying. So one of my friends helped me move the other day, and so any chance I get not to drive, I'll take it. Like, if someone volunteers, I'll be like, done, and I'm done. Like, because I like to look around and I like to see, but I'm also a fantastic driver. So like Lacey, she'll be like, no, you're driving, and I'm like, come on, I want to relax.
That is never the conversation in our house. You never let me drive. I have to drive. First of all, I get car sick. Second of all, I'm going to fuss at you the whole way.
Wait. Do you get car sick in the passenger seat?
Yes. I get car sick.
That's right.
Everywhere in the car but driving.
Do
So it plays to my control.
Hold on. Okay. I feel like this is a mind over matter thing.
It's not, though. I've been throwing up in the car since I was like 2 years old. So you can have that conversation with my dad later.
I do remember we took a group of people to a church, and on the way back, you're like, I'm getting car sick. I'm like, but you're literally
in the front seat.
Yeah.
But you asked me to write a text for you because you were driving. And I tried to muscle through the fact that I get car sick.
You did so good. I'm really proud of you.
And that was a very long text message. It wasn't just like, hey, see you tomorrow. It was
really
all
important.
the instructions for Sunday evening ministry night.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. I remember. Okay. Sorry about that. So red flags, you get anxious over things where, for those of you who get anxious, apparently it feels like wanting to step on a spider with your bare foot. So dealing with this, what were we talking about? You were talking about
anxiety and control.
Yeah. Okay, so what behaviors, like especially prior to the last year, led up to, okay, I need to deal with this, or my life is going to be horrible. You know, like when you get to that place of like, okay, something has to change. What maybe would you pinpoint as like, okay, these were your breaking points?
This is going to sound really, really dumb, I feel like, but it was the last election.
Okay.
And it wasn't the election or the outcome of the election. It was
like all the hubbub.
It was the way people were behaving surrounding the election.
Yeah.
And I usually avoid the news. That's just how I've always been. It's not a good thing for me mental health wise to pay attention to the news very often. So I don't. My husband is an avid news reader, and so I will hear the important headlines as he sees fit.
Sure.
But it was to the point where I had gotten off all social media. I had asked my friends, my very, very close friends who were very passionately watching what was going on, to please stop talking to me about it. And like, I just couldn't even hang in normal conversation about it. Yeah. And then Lacey again said, I think you need to do a book on your mom. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
No, people just need to stop talking about the election.
I just need people to stop being dumb. Leave me alone.
Right.
And then I cried, and then I did a book.
Okay, so like with your mom. Okay. Sorry. Backtrack just a hair. So like with your husband, with John. You said there's like he couldn't do anything right. What was this doing to your marriage? Like what was this doing?
Well, it caused me to get really angry, and it caused him to shut down.
Okay.
He would I call it yes dear. He would yes dear me to death.
Okay. But I mean, did he have any other choice?
No.
Okay.
But it's like I wanted engagement, and he knew any kind of engagement other than that would send me spiraling.
Right.
So it was a lose-lose. So I'd get mad at yes dear, but he still wouldn't give me anything to get him in trouble for. Right. So he'd just stay in that lane.
Sure.
Yeah. It felt very distant.
Yeah. Okay, so distance in your marriage, having the rumblies of stepping on a spider. I'm just trying to piece together these triggers. Can't say trigger anymore.
Well.
What do you say?
This is your podcast. So
what do you say, Nova?
I forget. I've heard it.
Content warning?
Sure.
You get content warnings. Triggered. No, red flags. Like, I'm trying to piece together, so for like people who do struggle with anxiety, these walls that come up, right? And so it's like, okay, disconnection in your relationships, feeling anxiety over making probably what would be big decisions for you, are actually small decisions. So like almost like feeling like everything is this big decision and it all has to be planned out perfectly. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be living in a cardboard box.
Right. Yep.
And so...
I'll say that even, like, I feel like the most out of control that was for me was when I was pregnant with Natalie. So my first child, and I didn't know what to expect. And at the time I was doing this like whole food vegan thing. And so I was like absolutely obsessed with getting the exact right amount of calories and micronutrients and all this stuff, or my baby was going to be born with XYZ. And I really wanted her to be born at a midwifery, but I had all these issues leading up to the pregnancy where I'm like, if I'm not in a hospital, I might die. And it literally, I looked at John probably when she was about 6 months old, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was so insane. I was so insane. I don't know how you didn't walk out. And he's like, oh, I thought about it.
Do you want to read my journal?
But that was, I mean, there was things that caused me to work through it, but that was probably the worst it ever was in actuality for me, was when I was pregnant with her.
Okay. And so then it like tapered?
It tapered to still an unhealthy place, but to a place where I didn't seem insane to everyone around me.
Okay. Just John.
Just John.
So
I love you.
So with parenting, like, how have you seen it come out as a parent? Like, how have you? Because it's like you have your adult relationships, right? Where I feel like you can justify certain things, right? Where you're like, no, this can. Like, let me explain it to you, and you'll understand why you should be crazy like me. No. But like, I mean, no. But people who do struggle with anxiety, it's a real thing where it's like, no. Let me just explain. Yeah. And then when, honestly, I man, and you can correct me if I'm mistaken, but especially people who walk through trauma almost have a valid reason to operate and behave in the way that they operate and behave, right? It's like, well, you don't understand. This happened to me. Like, this actually happened. And so as long as my life is X, Y, and Z, that won't happen again. Do you, like, is it, like, what's the balance between essentially justifying crazy, but then also saying, no, this isn't a real thing that could happen? Like, do you understand, how do you balance that? I mean... Or, like, what do you do maybe with that tension?
The short answer for me is I don't.
Okay.
And it came from talking to Sarah about settling at the extreme. And just when I get to that place on things that feel really significant, I feel like I can talk myself out of budgetary issues and things that are smaller. Okay. But when it comes to, I feel like I'm going to die at 38 and I'm 35 now. Yeah. That's coming. Yep. Just saying, what if? Yeah. What if I die? What does that look like? Yeah. And then sitting my husband down and being like, hey, this is something my brain really believes. I need you to tell me if something happens to me, you're going to be okay. Yeah. Because my dad and my family, we were not. Yeah. We did our best. Yeah. But we were not. And just like really taking it to, what is my absolute worst fear in this situation? And if that happens, Jesus is still in it. Yeah. And I need the people around me to know, here's how I'm struggling, and I need you to tell me what happens when my worst fear comes true. Yeah. And that's really what I've been walking through probably the last 2-ish years, is trying to really, when things like that come up that are big, to bring that to the people that matter.
So, with that, one of the biggest struggles I had was turning 30. It was the last, like, benchmark that I had thought about.
Yeah.
Right? And so that idea, you know, especially when we do have experiences in our life that we know people, we have family members, whatever it is, friends, and that's a hard thing to process through because it's a reality of no, I have this in my either family line or I had this experience, and so it can be a real thing for me, you know, whatever it is. Man, that is, and I think exactly like what you said, we have to settle it at the extreme. Mm-hmm. What happens if this happens? What are some things that you and John have done, you know, when you ask him the question, you know, are you going to be okay if this happens? Mm-hmm. Probably won't. But what, you know, you know.
Yeah.
What are some things that you guys have done in your life to know, to give you the peace of mind that, hey, you know what, even if, for me, even if I do die with cystic fibrosis, for you, even if I get in a car accident, the people around me will be loved, will be cared for, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, what have you had to do to come to that place of peace?
I mean, first of all, it's revelation that you're even dealing with it.
Yeah, that's huge, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, like, it was there, but I didn't know that it was there. I just had this feeling all the time that, like...
Well, it's just, you're probably living with this level of anxiety.
Right.
Right? Your human body is like,
I just have no idea where it's coming from. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is something I need to deal with. So, I mean, first step is figuring out, if you feel like that, where it's coming from. And it's usually somewhere pretty deep.
Sure.
Foundational relationships, you know, childhood experiences, that kind of thing. But once that happened, for me, it was just really making sure that everyone I surrounded myself with that would have some sort of influence over that type of situation was just wildly grounded in Jesus. Because I don't feel like there's any other way to make sure that someone's going to be okay with you not there.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to your control, right? I mean, it's like, how can you control if you're not here?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that, there has to be probably a level of release. Like you're saying, the settling it at the extreme. With John, you know, you see some of the ways that you were controlling him. It's like parenting, which you are literally in control.
Yes.
How do you, like, what do you do? What do you do when you're supposed to be the literal caretaker, but then you also struggle with that level of like, okay, I know I can't be in control. I know I can't, like, freak out.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, what does that process look like for you?
Ooh, it's getting better.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, when I first started parenting children that started to be able to tell me no and make their own decisions to jump off of furniture head first and that kind of a thing, my initial reaction was anger coming straight out of, I have lost control, fueled by anxiety. Yeah. And I worked with my mentor a lot with that, which she had struggled with a lot in early parenting. That was super duper helpful.
Cool. So I was going to say, I want to highlight this because I think it's imperative that when you see people who are healthy, and I think maybe this is one of the reasons why I try to focus on and someone telling me their story is if I know your story, for me as someone who works in ministry and coaching, it's like, okay, you struggled with alcoholism. It's something I've never struggled with. Right. So when I meet someone who's struggled with this, I want to connect them with you, right? And I think that's the thing about the importance of sharing our story to connect people. And like for you, you had someone in your life where you knew her story.
See, the funny thing is I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
That whole thing was Jesus.
That's fantastic.
I was just getting to know her.
Okay.
And we were we went through a couple of programs that kind of we were just doing because we felt like we needed to do it in the church, just to kind of get us plugged in and things we needed to work on. They were study specific. So this one was a marriage thing. 3-ish years ago.
Okay.
And the leader of the big group, so we broke out into small groups, the leader of the big group said, it is imperative to your marriage that you find a marriage mentor couple. And I didn't really take him that seriously. And we reached out to this couple, and John wasn't really into it. And then she just became my mentor on a personal level. Had nothing to do with marriage or anything like that. But we started meeting, and I was going through a lot of this, especially with my kids and the anger stuff at the time. And she had happened to have walked through that struggle about 10 years before. And really helped me through a lot of it. So
that's awesome. And so, and then let's talk about, probably finish off with the last year. What is it that God has been walking you through with this thread of control, anxiety? What has God been walking you through, and what are some things that you see as you look back at your story the last few years where he's essentially asked you to be out of control? So like so tell me, like, the last year process, you know, what have you been doing, walking through to resolve some stuff, and then what are some pragmatic things that God's been like, and you will be out of control?
Yeah. I mean, really, he's been walking me through the fact that I don't feel cared for enough to trust him. And that regardless of the situation, he cares for me. And that looks like me releasing things to him. Which I was never comfortable with before. And so I don't have any specifics where I necessarily feel out of control. It's more just I'm okay with not every minutia detail falling to me. And maybe probably have more work to do there. But.
Well, no. Well, then maybe I think maybe a different word than like feeling out of control. Maybe the question is, what are areas that you've had to release, right? Because that ultimately that's the area you feel out of control in. So like, what are areas that you have had to intentionally release for you to be resolved in? No more anxiety.
Part of my real big control issue comes from how judgmental, nitpicky, critical my family has been over generations around me. And I was very hypersensitive to how people perceive me and my marriage and my house. And I am an extrovert. I love having people in my house, but it was to a point where having people over was this massive burden because I couldn't let people see anything messy. Like physically messy or otherwise. I didn't want them to see me snark at my husband. I didn't want them to see my kids acting up at me. Everything had to be picture perfect all the time. All the window smudges had to be, and I'm filling my house up with, 50 kids on a weekend with small group. And I'm like, why does everything have to be perfect for them to ruin it in an hour? It doesn't.
Exactly.
Let it go. So that specifically is an area right now. And then just kind of, I wanted to make sure all the time that we did all the things. And there was anxiety attached to that too.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm walking in this space right now of I'm enjoying people. I'm not feeling like I need to meet people all the time.
So I have a certain someone in my life who struggles with relational anxiety. And I feel like it's self-induced, where it's like, I have to have friends, and then you have friends, and it's like, but I need other friends and more friends, and because that one friend is not going to resolve my need, and so I need more and more and more and more.
Yeah, the problem is that you have something going on deep down that you need to uproot because you're trying to do all the things with all the people, for all the people, meeting everyone else's needs but your own, and then you walk away just coming home feeling like a shell of a person.
Yeah.
And it would be days of that, of me just like going from sun up to sundown, me and the kids doing all the things all the time, and then I'd come home and I'm just like, why am I so angry, so tired? I have nothing to give anyone. I have what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And it's literally just I wasn't dealing with my stuff, and I was showing up and putting this face on that I felt like I needed to have, and none of that was anything that anyone expected me to do. It was all me putting it on myself.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I had to have control of every situation all the time.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, right?
It's so exhausting.
I'll pray for your friend.
Thank you. No, it's our daughter.
I know. I know.
Can you mentor her?
You and Lacey tell me all the time that
Drop her.
Me and Ari are the same person. I'm just like 30 years out from her. It'll get better. I promise.
I will say, like, when we started hanging out, like, we would hang out at your house, play games and stuff. But I'm trying to remember, like, it would be very, like, hold on, let me pick up my stuff first, or hold on, and then you guys could come over. To where now, like, I think I popped by your house the other day, and, like, you were folding clothes, and, like...
There was, like, it was 5 loads of laundry on the couch when you came over the other day.
Like, honestly, you know what, though? It's so...
and I didn't even apologize that I didn't stop folding laundry with you in my house.
It's fantastic. No, but it's so cool. Like, honestly, it is the atmosphere you build, like, as you walk, as you deal with stuff, right? As you resolve things, you do generate, the world would call it like an aura, an
positive
energy.
Vibes.
Yeah. But, like, it is an atmosphere that you bring into a situation or invite in, where it's like, okay, either it's going to cause everyone to be high anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Or peaceful. And that's the thing is, like, as we deal with our own stuff, that does create an environment around you that either terrifies people. It's Lacey and I once had this one person question Lacey's mom about Nathan and Lacey, that, like, they're, like, it's a facade, right? It's like a thing that they're just that way on stage. And Lacey's mom was like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, there's no way nobody could be that, like, open with all their stuff. But it's that thing, right? It's you generate an environment of, like, oh, wait, either that freaks people out. Like, how can Lauren be so comfortable with someone coming over to her house with the smudges and dead flies on the window because I was shooting them?
Yeah.
No, and like laundry, right? How could she do that, right? I mean, it does have to be pristine and perfect.
Right.
Or the other side of that is people come and go, oh, my goodness, I'm so glad to see that you're in your pajamas. I'm so glad to see that you have, like, laundry piling up. There's a sense of, it's almost a release of anxiety, especially for people who do deal with that, right?
Right.
And so I think that's, obviously you have your own internal dialogue that is becoming more free and obviously more enjoyable for yourself to be around. But then also it's like, oh, as you're, like you're saying, resolving these things, it's also becoming more inviting for people to be free or absolutely terrified of you, right?
Yes.
It almost creates this juxtaposition.
Yeah, and I will say that I've had a friend since I was about 12 years old that actually, she moved out here, And this freaks her out.
Yeah.
It freaks her out to no end.
Yeah.
And she's been trying to Enneagram box me for like the last 6 months of trying to figure out.
You've probably like shot all over the place.
Yeah. But it's just, she just, we grew up in church together. She has not chosen to follow Jesus as she has become an adult. And she's just so confused.
And the church you grew up in was very programmatic. Is that the word? Programming?
Programming.
Structured.
Yes. I grew up in an evangelical free church.
Yeah.
So it was hymns, and the most we talked about the Holy Spirit was
like when you read the Bible?
Discussing the Trinity. And it was very...
well, even through your college years.
Even through my college years. Yeah. I went to a Baptist church, and then I went to a Disciples of Christ college, and is all very, very structured, very conservative, erring on the side of legalism versus relationship. And that was my wheelhouse of where I was comfortable.
So with that, and I mean, okay, for someone who struggles with control and anxiety, I'm sure
fits.
Yeah, I was like, that's probably fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
But do you see those environments? I gotta careful how I phrase this question, because I think the denominations, it's like a body. They all bring something to the table, right? But do you think that environment for someone who struggles with anxiety, with control, what did that? I'll ask it this way: what did that do for you? Did it help you, or did it almost entrench you into your own issues?
It entrenched me into my own issues 100%. And I don't know if that would be the same for everyone that struggles like I do.
No. That's why I was asking you. Like, I wanted to...
me specifically. It definitely entrenched me in my own issues to the point where I had, between college and then me getting married to John, I had a period where I walked away because I was really, really confused going to TCU I was not a Bible minor, I was a religion minor.
Okay.
And so I studied the religions.
Okay.
And the first one I took was a Bible class, but it was the Catholic Bible.
Okay.
And I did not realize that there was extra books in other Bibles. And I feel like the verse that really just stuck out in my head all the time was all scripture is God breathed. And I'm like, wait a minute. So this one in this Bible is God breathed, but not in that one.
Right.
Okay, so then I started studying different, I went like to the nth degree of control and legalism and just like, let me compare all the versions and see why they're so different. And there was a lot of differences and some stuff seemed to contradict itself. And I just like threw my hands up and I was like, okay, I'm done. None of this makes sense.
It's such a fantastic conversation. Like that, honestly, like that stuff. As relational as I am now, there's still parts of me in the back that are like, I want to discuss theology and Bible translation.
I know. Well, and then the one person I know who's like the most into theology and apologetics in this church, I brought that to him, and he's like, well, no, the original text is God-breathed. Everything else is our best version of a translation. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like... would that have been so hard at 21 for someone to have said that to me when I was struggling? Come on, people.
Well,
would have saved me a lot of heartache, but you live and you learn.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so last question to kind of put us back on track.
Sure.
We'll see. So in all of this, how have you seen your relationship with God grow? Like from let's take 18-year-old Lauren, all the trauma that she had walked through, to Lauren at almost 40.
Wow. Rude. Okay.
My wife is almost 40.
Yes, but she's actually almost 40. She has 1 year. I have 5.
You round up.
No.
As my daughter says.
You round up.
Okay, 35.
Hey.
Lauren 18. Lauren 35. How has it, if you could just kind of briefly sum up your relationship process with God?
Wow. Okay. 18, I was really going after missions.
Okay.
Because I had a heart for people that were hurting, because I was hurting. And so I wanted to save all the people. And but it really wasn't from an outpouring of love and relationship with the Lord. It was me feeling like I could have some level of control over these other people's hurting issues.
Okay.
And also not understanding how cared for I am or anything surrounding identity at all. And feeling very lost. To college years, trying to understand, being so overwhelmed with my need to control what I could understand that I gave up.
Yeah.
And I think I walked away to, like, the point of I didn't want to be involved in any church. I didn't want to hear anything about the Bible. I just wanted to judge the way they showed Christians on TV, which was protesting things like AIDS walks and stuff like that to raise money, that kind of West something Baptist kind of.
Westboro.
That one. So there was a couple of years of that where I wanted nothing to do with that label of Christianity. And then just really coming back to little things to involve myself in a church body because I felt like it was necessary.
Okay.
To now, I don't even know how to describe where I am now, and I'm probably going to start crying because I never believed that I'm as cared for as I am. And to really understand that is so beyond any of this nonsense that I'm talking about. That it's just transformational, and to just really seek after the heart of the Father and listening and having conversations with the Holy Spirit, which I thought was insane until about 3 years ago.
I was going to say this last year at Cultivate probably wrecked your mind.
Oh my goodness. It's a wonderful thing, but every once in a while I'm just like, wow, okay.
As the leader, it wrecked my mind too, so don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, it all started with, you just asked us to envision how you asked us to ask the Holy Spirit to show us how the Father saw us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I had done your open-handed prayers a few times, and I'm like, I got nothing. I've got nothing for 30 years. Your magic doesn't work on me, sir.
Your voodoo.
And then I got the clearest vision I've ever gotten in my mind, short of me having
like
PTSD issues.
Yeah.
And I just saw myself as a little girl coming to this huge throne and just being picked up like a kid and held. And ever since then, I've been hearing and seeing and like legit visions. And those people are the crazy people, okay?
And now you're the crazy.
And now I'm the crazy person.
I also identify that way.
Yeah. So, but it all stemmed from me really starting to be like, okay, Lord, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
I would like to. I don't understand what I'm worth to you.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't get how you could love me as much as they say you can love me. And then I started to pour myself into that relationship, and he showed me.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. All right. Do you mind closing us out with prayer, with praying for people who do struggle with anxiety, people who do struggle with control, and just praying a blessing over them?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Heavenly Father, I pray over anyone that hears this podcast, God, that is struggling with anxiety, with control issues, with releasing things to you, Father, that you would reveal the issue that is causing them distance from releasing things to you. God, give them revelation that is undeniable. I feel like we should just pause for a moment for anybody listening so they can ask for themselves and hear. God, I just want to pray that whatever that they heard, that they would be obedient and just release that to you, Father. I pray that you would make yourself known as a loving dad.
Thank you.
And that they would know their worth. It's in your son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome. Thank you, Lauren, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
This was fun.
It was fantastic. Next time we'll talk about deep theology and all the
Let's
real
do that.
real stuff.
The real
doctrine.
stuff. Oh boy.
All right. Goodbye.